Happy Monday and welcome to Love at Lunch, where sharing knowledge feels like love, helping you to create a happier and more joy-filled life. My name is Leona Devin. I'm a coach and facilitator and author of Finding Your Joy Spot, helping you discover joy in unexpected places. And today we are talking all things journaling. Why are we talking about journaling? Because journaling is a form of mindfulness, and we know that mindfulness is very good for your mental health. And so perhaps you are a world-class meditator and that works deliciously for you. That's great. If you want to get into a mindfulness practice and you haven't found your joy spot yet, then journaling may be the place for you. And so in my book, I have reflection questions. I consider it like coaching in a can. I share some stories, some research-backed tools, and then some reflections so that you can integrate the things that you're reflecting on and you can take it forward into your life if it resonates for you. And I've had some feedback that people say, I'm a little scared to journal. I don't know how to do it. I'm a horrible speller. I write messy. What do I do it in? And so we want to kind of dispel some of those roadblocks that might be standing in your way from finding some joy in journaling. A couple things. When we start out, you are not going to publish your journal. So give yourself permission to spell poorly. Give yourself permission to write in any form of penmanship that would make your grade 3 teacher cringe. This is just for you. Give yourself permission to throw it out if you want to afterwards. If it's something really impactful and you want to have greater intention, but you want to be done with it, you could burn it. There's all kinds of things you can do, but don't hold yourself back by it not being perfect. Plus, a fun thing about journaling is if you ever wanted to get better at writing or more comfortable with writing because you want to write a blog or a book or something delightful, then journaling is a great place to start. It's totally private and it's totally for you. I do think you want to spark some joy. So if you can find a book that you love and a pen that you love, that will create a greater chance that you will get rooted in this practice. There is some research that says writing it out by hand as opposed to typing creates a more positive experience. So if you're a typer, fill your boots, but if not, try to do it the old-fashioned way by writing it down. What we know from the science around journaling is that mindfulness is about being present. So for some people, they can meditate and that works great. For some people, we want to be present and experience the benefits of that. Reduces stress, increases awareness, which is the linchpin to increasing emotional intelligence, which then creates more positivity, more joy, more health-related benefits, more positive relationships, all the good things. And so it's a form of mindfulness, and it has been shown to decrease inflammation, decrease chronic pain, increase cardiovascular health without ever having to put on your running shoes, although do that because your body likes that. It has been shown to decrease symptoms of depression, decrease anxiety, and part of the reason, in addition to becoming present, which is really important because that decreases worry and anxiety when we're just present and in the moment, is it also helps us to create greater understanding. And our brains are super complex. They are constantly trying to create meaning, understanding, identify patterns. And so journaling is one of those ways that we know based on research that it helps us to create deeper understanding. We also know that it bolsters resilience because when you see something down on paper and maybe you've been writing about something you're worried about for the last week, you think, okay, perhaps there's something I can do. So resilience is taking where we are at and doing something about it, which then also decreases feelings of anxiety and can decrease some feelings of depression, because depression often takes place. Now, I'm not talking biological depression, but feelings of depression, like we can't do anything, and that feeling of inertia often is beginning to be alleviated, and we get a serotonin release as well as dopamine when we actually move forward. So Journaling has incredible physical health benefits, lowers blood pressure as well as psychological benefits. So, how one might get started. And so my thought is, and when we talk about starting any new practice, number one, this is so delicious for you because it just helps you to be still and create a practice where you are still and not running around at 100 miles per hour. So if you have something else that helps you be still, that is awesome. You might consider engaging in a journaling practice in order to create even more of that opportunity to just be in the moment. And so some ways you could consider starting. Again, a writing apparatus, pen and paper that you love and makes you feel drawn to it, like a good cup of coffee. And do not worry about spelling, anything like that. If you feel like drawing would be helpful, give yourself permission to be drawing. Don't even get me started about art journaling. So good for you. Some ways that you may have seen if you follow me here on Instagram or Facebook is using a prompt and then just going with whatever the answer is. So today, I talked about in my journaling prompt, what would your intention be for the week? And then I just wrote about what my intention would be. And we have a much greater chance of actually carrying it forward once we've written that down as well. So you could use prompts. There's lots of different websites out there that give you prompts. If you have my book, you could take one prompt a day and just write about it. It's so good to help create order and reduce stress for your brain. You could start a gratitude practice. So 3 things I'm grateful for. I know for myself and my husband, we do our wins for the day. It's such a great way to reflect back on what were wins. And we find those joy spots bubble up because we think, oh yeah, that was a win. That was wonderful. The way the coffee tasted or the sun shone on our face or we went for a little walk early in the morning. It's so great. And you know, if you've been at Love at Lunch for a while, it reinforces those neural pathways, which helps our brain be more absorbent and more available for what brings us joy, which then also bolsters resilience, reduces stress, and gives us all the good things we want. We could do the work of Martin Seligman. He does the 3 blessings, or I call it what went well and why. So what went well in that day? So maybe you don't even, gratitude is just like too much for you to even think. You're in a rough spot. But you can think about what did go well and why did it go well? And the reason why the why is so important and improves mental health is because it shows that either we have control over something or some things are going good that aren't out of our control, in our control, and we see that things are for us and not against us. So the 3 blessings, really great, bolstered by a ton of research. And you may have heard me say this before, but he is like the father of positive psychology. I base my book on his 5 pillars of flourishing. But what he noticed, he started that practice first with his family because he was curious about it from a research perspective, then brought it to college student, and then brought it to patients in mental health wards and hospitals. And within 8 weeks, a considerable amount of patients could have their medication reduced because they were feeling so much better. So that what went well and why, really, really powerful science on that. A worry journal. So University of Berkeley has done a peer-reviewed study. They've done a couple of them, which means that this is solid science. And they saw that people who wrote down an hour or 2 before going to bed what they were worried about, their sleep improved by about 50%. This is a good deal. So you could have your worry journal and then write out your wins before bed, and it would be amazing for you. So, and you don't have to get into your worries. You could your brain just wants a place to write it down so it knows that something else is tracking that, and it doesn't have to track it all night. So you can go worry to wins, just worries, just wins, but all of these things are super good for you. You could just take one question and answer it every day. What's my intention for today? That would be amazing. You will naturally remember it because you've written it down. You could do timed journaling. So James Pennebaker, who is like the father of journaling, and has done a ton of studies on how it reduces traumatic symptoms, how it helps people improve their emotional well-being by writing about a traumatic event. If you've been following me here, I did that a few weeks ago over the death of my mom. It was very, very helpful. So he suggests writing for about 15 minutes a day and writing for about 4 days about something that was traumatic, and then reflecting about what it is that you learned, what was important about that, how you've grown. And within a number of weeks of people starting to journal, again, he was the one who noticed that inflammation decreased, chronic pain decreased, cardiovascular health improved, and blood pressure decreased. Like, journaling is a bizarre, miraculous elixir. So he suggests 15 minutes. If 15 minutes feels like pulling your teeth out, people, don't pull your teeth out. Start with 2 minutes. What's one thing you're grateful for, one thing you're worried about, and what's your intention for the day? Yum! You are a journaling guru at that point. Julia Cameron, well known for her journaling and creative process, talks about writing pages. So writing 3 pages a day. And then she actually says to discard it. It's about just getting your brain to be moving through whatever it is that's going on for you. And so somebody just asked, thank you, what does intention actually mean? So when I set an intention, so today I said, what was the intention that I want for the week? I want the intention to feel like flow. I've got a lot on my plate and I can get really caught up in those things. And then the intention is kind of the anchor that you continue to come back to. So an area of focus that anchors you in to what it is that you want to experience. So let's say I start to become consumed with worry over some of the projects that I've got going on, then I come back to, hey, what's my intention? So what's my focus or my anchor that's going to help me to feel better? So that's what you can think of as an intention. What's sort of your goal for how you want to feel? Or if it is something that you want to accomplish, those could be intentions also. But intention is really something that it anchors you in to help create what you want. And we have a lot of control over that. So every time I just think, okay, how do I get back into the flow? What do I need? Because that's intention. So thank you. So great to have some questions asked. So if you have any questions about journaling, maybe something specific that's holding you back, or you're a little bit curious, or if it's not for you, bless you, because you just shared love at lunch with me, and I'm so happy you're here. That's great. But if you are curious about it at all, give yourself permission and give into the curiosity. If you think, I'm gonna answer one prompt tomorrow, great. I try to post prompts most mornings around 6 a.m. Mountain Standard Time when I myself are journaling. And so if you want to follow that, great. If you think, okay, I'd like to do it for 2 minutes, or my child's struggling with anxiety, what would it look like if we had a journaling gratitude practice? That the child says 3 things they're grateful for, you say 3 things you're grateful for, and share a journal. Anything like that you're slightly interested in, give it a chance. Give it a week or 2 and see what the practice gives to you. And I'd love to hear from you and know what difference it may have made, or maybe it bounces you to a practice that's really important for you. There's no absolute right or wrong. It's just really about you finding a way that helps you, bolsters resilience, and ultimately helps you find more joy. So, blessings to you all and lots of love. Thank you for joining me today. If I can do anything to be of support, reach out.